Hello everybody, it's Diamond Kitty Gaming, and today, I gotta keep my voice down, even though I sure as heck love to be as joyful as possible. It is 1 a.m. in the morning, so we don't want to wake up the neighbors. But, welcome, as you may have noticed the changes already, to a dangerous world. Now, you might go, this is a dangerous world, but, this is different. And to that I say, yes, it is. We have a couple of new changes. Somebody asked me, at one point, I mentioned during a video, if somebody had said if I wanted to duel them. And I said, maybe all our fans will be able to duel. Maybe I'll make some edits. And they asked me what that meant. And I was kind of secretive, I didn't really give away much. And then another person asked me what I meant by editing, and people have kind of been getting up the hype, I suppose, by not knowing what I meant. Now, I'm going to showcase the changes, and hopefully you guys can all play it. Okay, so mainly I made fan countries, countries based off my fans who have been featured in my videos or have just been influential. So there's mostly that. But I did make sure to make them look like they were legitimate countries. For example, it was really hard to do Bruh JK Noob's country. He was he was a fan who I featured. I think I was the United Persian Gulf in that video, and he was really nice. So I made him a country, and it was really hard to make make a country seem legitimate when the username is BroJKNoob. I ended up calling it the Kingdom of Brudgick because it sounded pretty right. It sounded legitimate, and I'm not happy with the flags for Brudgick. I couldn't really figure out what to use for Brudgick, so I'll eventually edit that. But let's start on the in the Americas. So, the Alu Revolution has become the Alaskan Rebellion. I couldn't find any flags for the Alu Revolution, so I just kind of adapted it to Alaska, and now we have this. So, yeah. I don't think there's been any other changes until we get down here. So, Guadalajara City and Mexico City has been renamed to Old Mexico, and Guadalajara City has been renamed to Fresh Mexico, and has gotten a whole new set of flags instead of being all blank. I used other Mexico flags plus Aztec flags, and I'm really happy with that. Okay, next up we have the Kingdom of Invictus is new, but we will get there eventually because their capital is in Europe. So we don't have much and then we don't have much here until we run into here. This is Independent Pool. You might remember Pool Fun from a couple of videos I think that we did with him. So yeah, he got a country too. He's in the top of South America as Independent Pool. He's from France, so I mostly used French alternate flags for that. Actually, I think all of them are. Okay, next up we have Kai, the islands of Kai. If you remember Kai, it's not Samurai Kai, is it? But it was, I forget his whole username, but we featured another one of his maps. Was it Super Dangerous World? No, Samurai Super Dangerous World. Kai was someone else, but Kai, we featured one of his maps. He's a fan, so he got a country as well. The Caribbean islands and Trinidad and Tobago are his as the islands of Kai. Next up in Africa, we're going to go over this area, and we have 2 fans in Africa, just like we had 2 fans in South America, really. Next up is Fireflower Africa. This Fireflower's map in Africa was really what got me to think about adding fan countries in the beginning. So this has been a long time coming for me to edit the map, because I thought about this and I went, Fireflower Africa has a really nice ring to it. So I thought about adding a fan country, and it's not been until now that I finally got to it. Okay, so after Fireflower Africa, we have the Kingdom of Brudgic. That's Brud JK Noob, as I explained earlier. After that, we move up into Europe. We have, first up, the Kingdom of Invictus. If you remember Pack Invictus, we raided his map at one point. His capital is Gibraltar. He's in a war with the Union of Britain, but he also owns Belize and Guatemala. Where is our next country? Now, our certain Belgium fan might realize what this is next, and I bet he's going to be real happy. But first, we need to go to up here. So Iceland. Iceland is now independent. I called them the Vikings. I gave them a nice flag. They're in a war with the Union of Britain as well. They have a very particularly strong ships. They have particularly strong navy, but they don't have great infantry to be pretty historic. After that, of course, now we are moving on to this. Now let's click this, and it is the Kingdom of Kenneth. And Kenneth, the Kingdom of Kenneth, is fairly powerful, probably one of the most powerful fan countries that we have, which fits him since he's been in a couple couple of videos. So we have the Kingdom of Kenneth, we have the Kenpire as authoritarianism. We have the Kenneth Union and the Democratic Republic of the Kingdom of Ken, featuring a Benelux flag. So he is united Luxembourg, Belgium, Netherlands, and Esperge, and he's in a war with Denmark and the old and exiled Romans. I should probably make them, I'm going to quickly, since I'm still in the map editor, I'm going to make him quickly go... We're gonna make him in an alliance with the with the anti-dictator Bohemia. Okay, what else do we have? What else do we have? Scanning. Let's see. In the Middle East. Yes. I'm actually quite happy about this. I don't know why it passed over my mind. We have the Quraysh. Saudi Arabia was removed from the map, but not removed entirely. You can still liberate them. And we replaced them with the Quraysh. The Quraysh were a mercantile tribe in a while ago, like Byzantine Empire around times. So I featured them. They had no official flag. So I just used Arab countries' alternate flags, and I'm pretty happy with the way they turned out, actually. So, yeah. Oh, yeah, I forgot about that. They're such a small country. I remade Prussia. So they used to be Danzig with just like alternate names, and I wasn't happy with the fact that I was lazy and just decided to rename Danzig Prussia and call it a day. So I actually made Prussia this time, and now Prussia's actually a thing. They're in a war with Poland, and so is Free Lviv, which is why they're... I could have sworn they were in an alliance with each other. Shoot. Let me... Oh, yes, another thing that I forgot to feature. My ancestors coming from... And the name came from Bulgaria, then moved to Italy, who then moved to America. And then, but we have the Sofia Stronghold. My ancestors used to be called Sophia as their last name, and we have pretty good flags for those. So Sophia Stronghold, they're in a war with the Reformed Roman Empire. Basically, they're a stronghold in Vatican City that they won't give up, and they hope to overthrow the authoritarians. Now, their liberation territory is Cosenza, because obviously Vatican City has their liberation territory as Vatican City, but they do have a stronghold there at this point on the map. So after that, what else do we do? Oh yeah, as you might have noticed, Kingdom of Invictus, Gibraltar used to be an extraterrestrial landing spot. It's not anymore. It's the Kingdom of Invictus's capital. So I had to give the extraterrestrial landing spots another spot instead of Gibraltar. I chose Qatar since it's so small. So that's going to be another thing that the United Persian Gulf players will have to deal with, because it's going to be annoying to them. If they actually want to be the United Persian Gulf, they're going to have to deal with some extraterrestrials. So after that, what do we have? What do we have? Did I edit anything over here? Oh, yes, I did. We'll get there. New, scanning. If you've been studying the Dangerous World map and you know what I mean, you'll realize, hey, Sapporo used to be owned by the Japanese shogunate. What's there? It's the Samurai shogunate. Do you remember Samurai Ninja, Samurai Super Dangerous World map? Well, he got a country too. I only saw it fit to fit him into Japan and make him in a war with the Japanese shogunate. So he's in an alliance with the Okinawa military state, and they are both fighting the Japanese shogunate together. We have that as there. And I think, if I'm correct, yeah, I think that's all the edits that I've made. Let me save this to custom map 1. So that has been overwritten. The map has been overwritten as this. If you guys liked it better the other way, feel free to tell me. If you guys want to suggest an edit or want to add an empire that should be here, but it's not, or you're like, hey, that territory has been specifically untouched since 1936, you know, kind of similar to how these guys are kind of pretty untouched, you know. If you wanted to tell me, hey, that territory is pretty untouched, would you edit that a little bit more? Or remove this because I don't like it, or just, you know, tone down this country, or nerf this country, or buff this country. Just basically any edits that you'd like to suggest are well appreciated, since the Dangerous World is still undergoing fair enough maintenance. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you enjoyed the new edits that I've made. It took me about a couple days, so it's a pretty rewarding feeling to finally be able to showcase it. I don't think I'll be done yet, since I still want to edit like some of Central America and like over here, and any empires that you want me to add in for that for this area here would be greatly appreciated as for ideas, and I'll probably end up using them. So yeah, thank you all for watching. This has been a Diamond Kitty Game video, and I will see you all in the next one. Bye!